Hello everyone and welcome in. Today is Thursday, April 18th, and we'll be taking a look at what all messages want to come through for you from God, Spirit, the Divine. So getting towards the end of the week, so hopefully people have fun things planned for this weekend. We do have that big Jupiter conjunct Uranus happening. So if you haven't checked out the reads for the second half of April, make sure to check yours out. I talk about a lot of the different transits that are happening here coming up in the next week or so. So make sure to check those out. But let's go ahead and jump in and see what the overall energy for the collective is for today. The Devil, Four of Pentacles in reverse, and Knight of Wands. So, all right, the Devil energy. So remember, this is going to be anything that is keeping you off of your path. It's whatever's distracting you. It's going to be those addictive, repetitive thought patterns, actions. It can be 3D things like drug addiction, drinking, gambling, smoking, shopping, overeating. It can be mental things like these thoughts of these self-deprecating thoughts, oh, I'm not good enough. Oh, I'm never going to amount to anything. I'm destined to fail in my life. It can also be things like laziness and procrastination. I just don't care. So it's whatever is keeping you from your highest good. Then we also have this Four of Pentacles in reverse, which that is that energy of overgiving. It's overextending yourself. So this has an energy of being charitable. But if you watch my daily reads, you'll know that the way that this presents for me is it's like you just keep giving and giving to a certain situation. But it's almost like out of a fear response. So it's like, well, but maybe the person isn't really interested in me, but if I try just a little bit harder, if I do just a little bit more, if I show them just a little bit more attention, affection, support, then maybe they'll reciprocate. So it's almost like that sort of thing. So that could be, for some of you, that is going to be that Devil energy. And that is towards your Knight of Wands. And the Knight of Wands energy, that's that fearless, courageous. Of the Knights, this one is almost kind of a little bit more of that player energy. So for some of you, this could be that you're chasing after somebody who doesn't want to settle down, who doesn't want to take the next step with you. They're more into the, oh, let's do the fun things. Let's go out and do this and do that and do this and do that. But there's not really a stability behind them. So for some of you, that could be the message that's coming through here. So let's take a look and go sign grouping by sign grouping and see what messages want to come through for you. And we will start today with our air signs, which is going to be our Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. What messages want to come through for you as it relates to this? We have the Star in reverse. So this is going to be that sense of pessimism, that sense of, you're having issues with doubt and, is this really the right situation for me? Is this really the right path for me? And it's like you're getting jaded with this overgiving. And it's like you're getting jaded, like, what is the reason here? Like, why do I keep doing this? So let's see, what other cards come out? This one flipped, Moonlight, travel, romance, potential. And let's pull another one. Purification by fire, bare essentials, the naked truth, wholeness. So some of you could be dealing with a fire sign since this is a fire card, but there's a little bit of this, are you being swayed by this idea of like the potential? And so it's romance and travel and potential. And this is something that some people struggle with, this whole idea of I'm going to give, even though it's depleting me. I'm going to give because I see the other person's potential. And, I know that they have this beautiful, amazing soul, even though in the 3D, they are totally not showing up like that. Like and you may have a deeper connection. You may have a more of a 5D connection with them. And it's like, you can see their soul and it's beautiful and it's wonderful. And it's almost like you're getting seduced by the romance of it. But how are they showing up in the 3D for you? Are they showing up in the 3D for you? And then this purification, fire, the bare essentials, naked truth, wholeness. When you boil it all down, what is the reality of it? There's a reader that I like watching her read. She does them on Twin Flames, and I love it. She says, reality is right 100% of the time. So that, and obviously that doesn't speak to why is reality the way that it is, but reality is right 100% of the time. So objectively speaking, what is happening right in front of you, and don't let your mind make up too many stories one way or the other. Let's take a look at the Romance Oracle card. Deception. Someone is wearing a false self mask in this relationship. This can be you or the other person, but it's kind of that idea of, if you're stuck with seeing their potential, and they're telling you wonderful things, like if this is kind of the player type of energy, they're telling you all these wonderful things, but are they backing it up? Like in their 3D actions, are they backing it up? Or are they telling you something? And remember, in some situations, the deception, it might not be malicious. It could also be that they are not being honest with themselves. Like maybe they want to be, like, if the whole thing of someone is wearing a false mask, maybe they truly want to be that person. And when they're around you, they feel inspired or compelled to behave in a certain way, because it's like, oh, I really wish I could be that person. And so that goes back to the potential. But in reality, then when they step away from you, that's not who they really are. And so it's not necessarily like they're doing it maliciously to try to play you necessarily. It could just be that, they are not able to sustain that person that they want to be. On their healing journey, they may just not be at a point where they can sustain that side of them. Celebrate life. Make your life a celebration. So with this one, and actually it's kind of in the shape of a heart here, make sure that what you're doing, if you're giving time and energy and attention or money into a certain situation, make sure that you're celebrating life, like that you're not letting everything get dragged into a scenario where you just feel like there's not the future that you were hoping for. So make sure that you're still living in the moment, that you're still celebrating life, that you're still moving forward in a happy, high vibe state, and turning that energy. If you have this capacity to be charitable, loving, giving, turn that back onto yourself. It's never a bad investment to invest in yourself. So that was the message for our air signs. Now let's move on to, put that out of the way there. Let's move on to our fire signs and see what messages are coming through for fire signs. What do they need to know for the 18th? The Fool. So this is that card about a new beginning, taking that leap of faith, knowing that the divine has your back. So if you've been dumping all this energy into a scenario, that's that devil energy. You're being sucked into giving and giving and giving, even though it's not going anywhere. Take courage. So for our fire signs, these ones are the ones going together. Take that courage, be adventurous, be fearless, take that leap of faith and go in a new direction, do something different. All right, let's take a look at the Gaia cards and see what comes through for our fire signs. Achievement. Keep focused on your dream. So don't let yourself keep getting sidetracked by other little things that are coming up. So if you're stuck in a situation where you feel like it's this devil energy that's pulling you off your path and taking all this time, all this energy from you. Focus on what is it that your dream is up? Like, where is it that you're trying to get to? Because then when things come up that are drawing on your time, your attention, your resources, you can weigh that against, but where is it that I want to go? So not necessarily having big blow up discussions, if this is a situation that involves other people or a job or whatever, but if your dream is that you want to go in this direction, then other tasks and things that are coming up over here, it's not that they're not important, they're just missing the point of getting you closer to what your dream is. So keep focused on your dream and make sure that your activities and actions are getting you closer to that dream. So one of the cards that comes up in the deck like this, the spray paint one, is don't confuse activity with accomplishment. And so that message was coming through in my head as I'm looking at this one. Don't confuse activity with accomplishment. Just because you're busy doesn't mean you're getting any closer to your dream. So, if your dream was to one day own a bakery, okay, well, if your friends keep saying, oh, let's go do this, let's go camping, let's go, invest in whatever, some other business, some other something, it's not letting you get any closer to your dream. It's taking you, in some cases, it's taking you further away from it if you're investing money in a different business, or even just some of those things. It's like it's keeping you from the opportunity to spend time working on your dream. So make sure that what you're doing is at least baby stepping you in that direction. Let's take a look at the Romance Oracle deck and see what comes through for fire signs there. Forgiving and learning. As you release and heal the past, you experience more love in your present moments. So are you punishing yourself or punishing someone else for things that have happened in the past? So remember, sometimes when you look back on the past and what you've done in the past, how you've acted in the past, what experiences you've had in the past, it's not necessarily fair to view them through the lens of what you know now. And it's easy to look back and be like, oh my gosh, why did I do that? Well, based on the information you had at the time, it may not have been as like, oh my gosh, of a choice as when you look at it now. And, sometimes people have to make certain mistakes because that's a big opportunity for growth. So when you're looking at the past and looking at your actions, your behaviors, things like that, don't be so hard on yourself that, oh, I can't believe that. Why would I have done that? It makes me such a bad person, makes me so unlovable. Like, make sure that whatever this forgiving and learning part is not part of your devil energy. Are you continuing to punish yourself for mistakes you made in the past? Is that part of what's keeping you from, being able to step into your dreams now? Is that part of what's keeping you from taking this, step forward because you keep punishing yourself for what you did in the past? All right, and the last card here, Heart of the Matter. Align life's pathways through the heart. So make sure that what you are stepping forward and doing, you are doing it, heart-centered. Excuse me. Hi, sorry about that. I'm having some throat issues there. So this final card here for fire signs, the Heart of the Matter card. Align life's pathways through the heart. So this is that reminder of make sure that what you're doing, you're aligning it through your heart chakra. So your dreams, make sure that, and looking at those bursts of color, make sure that that's aligned through your heart chakra. What is it deep in your heart that you want to do? Because that's what's going to set the tone for how you are experiencing life around you. It's also going to set the tone for everybody in your energetic field, whether it's your coworkers, friends, family, children, partner. If you're happy and you feel like you're aligned with your dreams and you're going in that direction, that energy, whether you're intending for it or not, it pushes out to everybody around you, and it creates this high vibe energetic field. So not only are you doing it for you, but you're doing it for everybody else around you as well. So that was the message for fire signs. Let's take a look at earth signs and see what wants to come through for you. The moon. So the moon, this is that card about lies and trickery and deceit. So for you, you know, there's this devil energy that's pulling on you, kind of this like energy of giving and giving and giving and just keep trying, you know, and obviously with that, with from Finding Nemo, the just keep swimming, it's good when it's a matter of trying to get to a goal that's, I'll call it a worthwhile goal. But the moon energy, there's this whole cloud of lies and deceit and trickery, you know, what's happening by the dark of the moon or by the dark of night. And sometimes it's what you're telling yourself, but it's coming across that the devil and the moon are going together. They are trying to keep you in this energy of just give a little bit more, just give a little bit more, just give a little bit more, even though it's not getting you anywhere. So this Knight of Wands energy, like I said, this is kind of a little bit more of that, of all of the knights, it's a little bit more of that like player energy. So are you continuing to give and give and give to a romantic situation that just isn't, it's not what you think it is? So the moon energy is, it's not what you think it is. All right, let's take a look at the Gaia card and see what wants to come through. Sacred Earth Mother, a message of love. Let's pull another one because that's kind of a generic one. Moonlight Goddess, repressed emotions, healing, and reflection. So the Moonlight Goddess part, the moon card also has an element of like repressed emotions, like your subconscious. And this is, you know, what emotions are you repressing? When you reflect on this situation, what is it that needs to be healed? Something needs to be healed, and like pushing that down and saying, no, it's fine, is not going to help. This Sacred Earth Mother, a message of love, is how do you love yourself? Because a lot of times, you know, experiences that are sticky, tricky, unfulfilling in the 3D can sometimes be stemming, or oftentimes are stemming, from a lack of self-love. So is there a dynamic in play that you're not standing up for yourself? And that message of love is one that you need to direct at you. All right, Romance Oracle deck. Heart-to-heart conversations. Honestly discuss your feelings with each other. So there's something, you know, like I said, with this devil energy and this moon energy, here's what we're projecting out to everybody, and here's what's really going on, and needing to have some discussion about, you know, what is the actual reality of the situation, and having that conversation. Let's take a look at our Sufi Wisdom Oracle. Move forward. Experience the grace of who you truly are. So moving forward, it's kind of like, okay, how can you break this cycle of this devil energy? You know, it's going to take a heart-to-heart conversation, and then just move forward, and don't keep getting stuck in that energy, that deceitful trickery. You know, that's too much energy to be dumping into a situation like that. Alrighty, last but not least, we have our water signs. So that's going to be Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces. Let's see what we've got for you for today. The star in reverse for you as well. This came up, air signs in reverse. And, you know, it's not necessarily, I mean, like sometimes when I put the deck down, like I'll end up turning the deck around. So interesting that it came up in reverse. So this is that sense of, kind of like losing hope and being pessimistic about this situation. And And some of that is that devil energy that pulls you into that sense of pessimism, that sense of, oh, I don't even know how to get out of this. So let's pull some other cards and see what wants to come through for water signs. Night wind, facing fear, subconscious release, and healing. So as you know, as we were talking about earlier with getting these two cards, it's almost like that devil energy is trying to keep you in that state of giving more, giving more, giving more. But this night wind card, this facing fears and subconscious release and healing, this is like you have this fear that if you stop giving more, you know, if this is for a relationship, if you stop trying so hard, the whole thing's going to go away. But part of it is a matter of facing your fear and then like subconsciously releasing your thoughts or judgments about if this doesn't work out. Like that's the whole thing, is if you're doing, say, 98% of the work of the relationship, if you're doing that because you're afraid if you scale back, the relationship's going to go away, then was that really a worthwhile, balanced relationship that you want to be in anyway? And the subconscious release can also be about, you know, do you have these other acknowledged or unacknowledged fears or judgments about what that means if this relationship doesn't work out? And if so, that's something that needs to be healed. Maybe the judgment is, if you're married to this person, like, oh my gosh, but what if I get a divorce? What will people think? Well, you need to face that for yourself of why is it that you would think that that's such a terrible thing, you know, relative to being unhappy. So that's something to look at. What are the actual fears around this, and how do you heal those? And this says, express your love. Go ahead and make the romantic gesture. So this is something where, you know, you might have been giving and giving, but not necessarily romantically. Like maybe you're giving a lot of time, but you're not really truly expressing what's in your heart. So for some of you, it could be the fear of, well, what if I really open up to this person? Like the example I used before, if you're married, this could be the other side of the relationship coin. Maybe you're early on, or, you know, and you just don't really feel comfortable fully expressing yourself, because what if I express myself, and what if they don't feel the same way? Instead, I'll just keep showing up and doing nice things, but not actually truly telling them what's in my heart. So depending on where you are in your relationship arc, express your love, like be honest about where you are and see where that takes you. And then Sufi wisdom, face your fears. So there's two of these that are, farewell to fear phantoms is what that one says. So there's two of these here for water signs about facing your fears. So some of this pessimism could be related to the facing your fears. So for some of you, like I said, if you're kind of early on in a relationship, like you're worried about, oh my gosh, but what if I'm ready to take that next step and they're not? So facing that fear, but then it's also on the other side of it, if it's a, you know, relationship that's having issues, face your fears in terms of what do the next steps look like, as opposed to saying, oh, it couldn't be this. Instead, let's just keep churning the, you know, miserable over here, you know, looking at it and saying, no, what are all of the different options? Even if it scares me, how can I look at what scares me and lean into it and say, but why does it scare me? And that will help get you more to some of the root of what's going on with you. So I hope that you found today's message to be helpful. As always, take only what resonates and leave the rest behind. Going into the weekend, I will be doing some additional reads over the next few days beyond just the regular dailies. So make sure you hit the subscribe and notification bell if you want to be alerted when the new videos post. Otherwise, I wish you peace and joy along your journey. Until next time.